Hello and welcome back to another island, or rather series of islands. This is a fourth series of island called Starfield Island because oh my god, this is a column of clouds that happens when you outside. But anyway, I decided to mod the game a slightly tiny little bit. And I've come out with this place. And no, this is not a mod, I actually made it myself. It's not too hard to make it. You have to download the Simcity 4 Terraformer and then you just make it. It's really easy actually to use. A very nice program. I suggest it wholeheartedly if you play this game. And I founded the city of Star Beach, which we're gonna load right now. It's pretty much on the same spot as my previous city was, but it's a bit more orderly. A bit of unemployment here and there, but it's not too tragic. Lots of dirty industry, which we're going to try to upgrade right now actually. Now there are ways to upgrade your city, and that is through relations with other cities. This is what exactly I'm going to do right now, actually. I'll be trying to relate this industry with other cities, maybe make, you know, people happier. So we're gonna need a passenger train. Two of them, actually. Train stations. One here, and we're gonna place another one. How about we extend a road? So we do something like this and extend it right over here. That seems fair. So yeah, it's gonna turn, no worries. I place a passenger station about over here. Or maybe on this side. Both could work, really. Let's place it over here. There we go. Alright. And now another one we need is the cargo trade station, freight station, not the cargo trade station, the cargo train station rather, the freight station. There we go, there it is. And now we just need to connect a railroad basically with it. I'm gonna make it fancier-ish, you know, like actual railroads. Now citizens of this city will still be able to travel to this station from that station, so a bit less of a commute time, which is always nice, of course. I'm gonna make some of these guys, just to make it look a bit more realistic, you know. Doesn't have to be too serious, but it's always nice. Something like that. It's only for realism. Purposes are just realism, trust me. And we're gonna connect this to the neighboring city up here, which is still nothing, but that's gonna work out, no worries. Now we need to go on this line, fair enough. We just turn this way. Now to not cause traffic issues, what I'm gonna do is be clever. And I'm gonna use something that was added with the NUM, or also known as the Network Add-on mod. That is puzzle pieces for elevated rail. There we go. Now we just need to find an avenue piece to connect. Normal avenue piece. It's a bit chaotic if you don't know how to do things like me, but once you start using it, you actually get a hang of it, and it's actually very useful. Trust me on this, that it's very useful. Now we have basically a railroad connection set. What I'm gonna try to do now is use the same puzzle pieces. Nope, that's a road. That is not a railroad. Fair enough. I'm gonna try to use the same puzzle pieces in order to not cause any traffic issues, because you know, having a just a rail, cross the streets causes some traffic issues, and we're actually, you know what, we're gonna do like a viaduct of some sorts. So we're gonna basically puzzle it all out. So we need normal pieces. Go across the road, not the street, the road. There we go. Now we need one that is blank. Lots of pieces added in this mod. I really wholeheartedly suggest you use it because it's really good. You can say that it's basically there is one piece for everything, literally. Wait, isn't it like the first piece the one that I'm searching for or something? Did I do a mistake? No, it's not. It's a diagonal piece that is 45-degree turn. Where is it? Did I skip it and I didn't even realize? Alright, let me try to find it. Sorry guys, I know this is a bit of a nuisance for you right now, but trust me, it's gonna help my city grow. Growing cities is good. With Pedmal paved. No, it's not that. Wait, am I missing something, guys? Or do I just need to connect now or something? No, I don't need to connect. It's not really a connection piece. It's literally the piece that is shown there. Ah! There we go. Hello. How are you doing? So let's try to make a turn here. Can we make one of these? I wonder. Maybe. It's basically the road that is blocking us right now, isn't it? So what if we find a diagonal piece for the road? Actually, do I need that? Probably do not. I just need to do the one that was there before, like this one. Right, let's smash the road. Whew, this takes a while. Now let's find a diagonal road connection thingy-o-dealio stuff. No, I want this one. Perfect. Alright, so now we rotate it adequately. Is that the adequate way to rotate it? I don't even know. I'm gonna rotate the map to see if it works. Eesh. No, it doesn't, because the road isn't set the right way. So let's bulldoze that. Oh no! No! Stop it! Yeah, that happened. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out and I'm gonna be right back. And here we go. I actually managed to finish this thing, believe it or not. It took quite a bit of time, actually. It is quite a pickle to build, but in the end, it worked out. Now, it's worth mentioning that this is not connected to any city quite yet, but it is thought to be connected. Let's see what kind of impact it's going to have on our city right now. The traffic might be a bit better. Safety is a bit better, apparently, because train passes now and people can die below a train, and that's safe, apparently. No, it doesn't work that way, but, you know, it's generally a good thing. Now, one thing that I have to say, in this city, the problem is poverty. Now, you can see that there is actually quite a few fancy houses, but if you check this one, for instance, you're gonna see that the wealth is actually 1 instead of 3. There are 70 people living in one house. That's something. Well, the issue with this is because I don't have any job offers for medium wealth citizens or high wealth citizens, so basically those that do actually come in end up being unemployed. That's why actually my demand for low wealth residential is the highest, not the most, the highest. Essentially it's the highest. So what I'm gonna do is try to zone a bit of residential here, connected to this industry here. I'm gonna try to keep it a bit away from this industry, because dirty industry doesn't make people happy, by the way. Pro tip. So you want like a zone out of 6, something like this should work out. It doesn't make any intersection, for instance. The people that come out here, they'll have to drive all the way down here to get down, up there. So what I could do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is another one here. I'm gonna do a road here. This is going to, well, accelerate the traffic a tiny little bit, not too much. We're gonna make pipelines, which I actually have a lot of. There's a lot of water in my city, that's not an issue. Money is, well, we're making money, although not moderately high amounts. So that is okay. We're gonna place now this zoning. See how my demands essentially increase or decrease depending on what the people will want. And we can move on to the next city. I'm gonna keep this series short, by the way, as I mentioned on the first episode. I'm gonna keep it short, probably 3 to 4 parts. This is the third part, so basically next part is going to be the end of this short series. Maybe I'll do more videos later on in my YouTubing lifespan, more likely. But not right now, because I've actually found already a game to replace this. I just need to acquire said game, and I have to wait for my bank to basically decide to fill in my debit card so that I can purchase things. I cannot have a credit card yet because I am unemployed. Stuff like that. So you can see now there's quite a bunch of people living in these medium wealth, or rather low wealth, medium density houses, because there was enough demand. And you can see that now commercial demand, commercial SSS, what is S? Commercial services demand has been increased. It is basically shops, and so it did the manufacturing, industry manufacturing increased too. Now the problem I see with industry manufacturing is that I cannot really do anything about it because it grows or it doesn't grow. You can see that this probably is manufacturing. Motor works, maybe not. It's wealth too, so it could be manufacturing. Freight trips short, this is the most important part. Garbage low, crime low, pollution high, logically. So basically, they want services. I mean, there is a demand for services because they want shops, essentially. So we're gonna give them some shops. I'm gonna give them medium density shops right over here. And hopefully they're gonna be happy. Still don't know the hotkeys for the time. Suffice to say that I was trying out SimCity 2013 as of lately, and the buttons there are a bit more practical. The hotkeys are a bit more practical anyway. But it's not too bad here either. Another way to shorten the freight trips is to build seaports so that you can actually find here seaports. You just plop it down the coast and it builds itself. Another way I believe is through I don't know if this actually does anything. Does it? I believe it does, but minimally. There's still a demand, a tiny little bit demand for dirty industry, and a bit higher demand for manufacturing. Now, one way to block the dirty industry from happening is from having very smart citizens, something that I don't really have right now. The only thing that basically keeps my citizens smart is this school. And there isn't a lot of students here. There isn't a lot of teachers either. They're just too little interest in education. So what we're gonna do is now go back to the region, save and exit to region. Now there's going to be several connections to the region. Oh wait, that station wasn't even powered. Well, bummer. Now, essentially this works very similarly to SimCity 2013. You know, you have basically relations to other cities in the region, or rather connect cities to the region. But here you can connect every city. You cannot connect only up to 4 or 6 cities depending on your region. You can connect every single city like through a highway. You build a highway around the island and you have all the cities connected. And basically all the cities get advantages from the other cities, or disadvantages too. If basically there is a deficit in this city, there is a lack of workers in this city, then this city will have to have more working places, you know? So that is actually quite interesting. Now if I'm not mistaken, I connected cities to this and this transportation map. You can see that my railway goes straight into this quadrant here. We're gonna start a new city here, simply because there is a railway as well as an avenue connected. Okay, so let's go straight into city name. North. Yeah, sure. Whatever. And you can see that basically the demand is a bit higher here, simply because, you know, also we basically get the demand for medium wealth citizens, which is good news, because we want those medium wealth citizens elsewhere. Basically, we want workers to commute, if possible, for them. So we're gonna extend this avenue here. So I've installed a bunch of mods, but I really don't know how they work. What I'm gonna try to focus here is mostly manufacturing and high tech, but I'm gonna start with agricultural industry, if possible. So let's get started by building a road here. We're gonna need some power, I'm afraid. And power is dirty. Power is dirty, and you cannot help that, sadly. I'm gonna build a power station through the railway. And just like with the railway, you can actually build roads through the railway. Road overpasses. Wait a second, we just need to find the right one. There we go, it's a direct one. The texture is a bit bugged because I fudged up some mods and it looks like it's an American-based texture, but the roads are European. I have to check compatibilities, issues and stuff like that. Probably some other mods that basically add textures. I believe my issue was that I didn't install the texture pack from the Network Add-on mod, the European texture pack. I just went with the American pack, and then after that I installed the European texture pack, and that probably caused some compatibility issues. I'll probably have to reinstall the Network Add-on mod essentially, but it's not that much of a big deal. Let's see now. We want basically some citizens here. Let's build ourselves some road, or rather streets. I like these roundabouts. They make a nice ending to the streets, I reckon. Not too much fuss about it either. There we go. And then you just plop down some houses the way you like it. Let's say that 2 times 2, or rather 2 times 1 is fair enough here. We can do this, we can do this, and we can do this. A bit of this, a bit of that. Oh yeah, works out, more or less at any rate. So as I said, I actually already found a replacement for this series. It's not because I don't want to make a full series of this, I mean, it's not because I don't like this game, it's just that I didn't want to make a full series of this game in the first place. This was more like a transitional series, so to speak. I'm gonna place some shops here. And a little bit. Some parks, why not? Might as well. They, you know, enhance the environment a tiny little bit, not too much, but just enough to help it. We're gonna connect this road to a power station over here. Now, since we have a lot of money, there isn't really an issue if we are in a deficit of money making right at the start. I'm gonna go with the medium pollution natural gas power plant because I don't want too much pollution in the city, essentially. I'm gonna connect it. Perfect. Alright. We also need a water tower just in case. Connect it to the pipelines. It's not the best choice to really place one of those close to streets, but you know, it's gonna work out, I guess. And we want some agricultural, so let's do this. I'm gonna make something very fancy now. I'm gonna use one of these starting blocks. Rotate it. And here we go. We have dirt roads, which is actually quite adequate for farms, if you ask me personally. I'm gonna basically make some sort of chain here of these streets. Make lots of farm fields. Now sadly I didn't install yet the mod that enhances the farms, which is kind of unfortunate because that could come in handy, to be honest with you. But in the end of the day, this is gonna work out just fine. Can I force it to be like 2 parcels by making 2 separate squares, I wonder? Like this, is it going to be 2 parcels or just 1 parcel? I don't know, we'll see. We need to connect some water and energy there. We can connect it directly through here, why not? Might as well. So I think the street is the best course of action for farm fields, simply because, you know, they don't like pollution and streets don't cause too much traffic issues. So essentially, that means good stuff for them. Maybe there is energy connection, but just in case I'm gonna make a power line here. I should actually also check for power line modes because I don't really like these normal power lines. I'd like some larger ones to make them look a bit more realistic if possible. What else can be done? A passenger train station? My voice is cracking here, sorry. Alright. I'm gonna place it over here. Connect it to a street. Can I make something fancy here? I mean, I can make a roundabout like this. That works out, I guess. It's not a big roundabout. If there's gonna be traffic issues, I can still rework it a bit. but that's not an issue right now. Let's see now. What else can we do? What I'm gonna do is force the taxes. I'm gonna go to money. How do I go to money? Oh yeah, here, right. Taxes, and I'm gonna force the dirty industry taxes to be very high. This is going to cause basically the dirty industry to not develop in my city, and instead it's going to force the manufacturing industry to be a bit bigger. You're just gonna see that once I start simulation speed, it's going to drop down lower. So we're gonna build a tiny little bit of medium density industry here. Connected to a street just because why not? Alright. And we need water there too, I believe. Yes. I don't know if the train station need water, so I'm gonna just connect it just in case. Alright, let's start simulation. Maximum speed. There isn't a lot of spots here, but keeping in mind that people can still commute. Nothing is happening. Ah, there we go. Things start. Rimmed node of new zones for industry. So this might be now still dirty industry at first. It's not actually, it's all manufacturing, which is actually very nice. You can see that the demand for dirty industry is very negative, simply because we don't really need it. If they don't need it, rather. They don't need the taxes so high, essentially, that's what my point. So we're gonna expand a bit this manufacturing industry. It's not as polluting, so it shouldn't be causing too many issues, as far as I know. Still requires water, I believe, though. Dirty industry and low wealth, low density. Wait a second, there's an issue here? Is there issue? Oh, no energy is issue. Apparently, water tower require energy. Who knows? Right, so this should cause a bit more things to develop, so to speak. Look at that farm field. How many workers is there? 13 here. That's actually fancy. So of course we're not going to make a lot of money out of this. But you can see that the wealth of residents here is actually already medium high instead of just low, simply because the demand for medium wealth residents is higher than for low wealth residents. Also here you can see that this is quite a medium density, or rather medium wealth commercial services. I'm gonna try to make a couple more buildings for commercial purposes here, just in case, if they need it. You can see this is low though, because there isn't a demand for medium anymore. Now what are we going to do is try to expand this industry. There isn't a lot of demand right now, but that isn't not a problem. We're gonna expand the residential area a tiny little bit. There isn't much space to develop it, to be honest with you, but that is not an issue yet. We can always expand it down here if needed be. It's actually a fancy looking power plant, I really like it. I'm gonna make a street down here. Basically make some more roundabouts, stuff like that. Quite close to the railway. I don't know how this is going to... I don't know if this is going to make my citizens happy, that's my point. Small houses too, why not? Doesn't really matter. Long run, not really. Alright, so this should be good enough for now. Let's see, simulation speed to maximum, what's gonna happen. We need water there too, by the way. I mean, it's well watered. We're gonna build our house, simply because people like it. And I believe it improves a bit the land value. A tiny little bit, not too much. So what is the demand for the most demanding factor right now? A bit of, well, mostly it's low wealth things and agricultural. So we're gonna enhance our agriculture then a little bit more. And this is actually a singular parcel, so what I can do is make divisional streets essentially, so that we divide the parcels to a smaller size and therefore cause more farm fields to appear, essentially. That is my point at any rate. Let's see, does it work out this way? Actually, we need to do it this way. Sorry. Is the right size? No, it's not. It's not, but we can fix it this way easily. And let's increase the simulation speed. Let's cause this to be connected to the farm fields. I don't know, I still don't know if all of these farm fields require water, but supposedly farms require irrigation, so, you know, they might need it. And it's quite a bit of farm fields there. The demand for agriculture is still quite high because the city is so small and we need homemade products essentially. Is there anything that my helpers can help? Some smaller forestation, fire station, sure, we can build one of these. It's going to increase the security in the city. Therefore, it's going to increase the wealth of the citizens, because basically land value increased, people will like to live here, and everything is gonna be happy. You can see that all my helpers here are quite happy. I'm not quite making enough money to earn, but you know, it's a start. So since there is quite a demand for low wealth residential, what I could do is... this is going to destroy the roundabout. Can make a diagonal maybe? No, I can't. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let me see, how could I connect this cleverly? Well, the railroad can still go through here, no worries. We can always enhance it later on if needed to be. You know what I'm gonna do is pause the game. I'm gonna destroy this. Yeah, it's gonna destroy that too, but it's not really an issue. We can always build an overpass really quickly by just swapping this one and... What do you mean? Unable to build? Unsuitable to area to build. What you talking about? I'll show you an unsuitable area to build. Ah, interesting. What's the matter with that? Oh, because it's not the right one, of course. Duh! It's still an unsuitable area to build for some reason. What am I missing here, guys? Is it this street? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Alright. Fixed up. No worries. Now what I'm gonna do here is a one-way road. Is this the right way? Is this the right direction? I'm gonna say it is, just because it appeared. Can I connect it this way? No, I can't. I need a curve. So I'm gonna destroy some of this. So essentially this is also another thing added by the network add-on mod. Highly suggest you use it. Can I smooth out this curve? Probably I can with one of the puzzle pieces. Fractional... There's so many things! People getting confused all the time. Is this it? This seems to be it, yeah. We just need one that basically goes the right way. Essentially. I was sure there was a piece that could just connect these two pieces together like that, but can't seem to find it now. Which is unfortunate. Maybe there's something else that I'm missing. Duh! Stupid idiot. There we go. That is better. You can actually plop a park down here in the middle. Like, we can place something nice, like a gazebo. There we go. It's also looking fancy and pretty. Connect this. We can make some medium residential, or rather, not medium residential, but not medium wealth residential, but rather medium density residential happen here. Since the industry here is not too terrible, the citizens shouldn't complain too much, I believe. At least not low wealth. All styles at once. Let's see. Data views. Desirability, low wealth is fine, medium wealth is not that bad. You can see that they actually want to stay here because it's not that dirty. High wealth doesn't because they're CCs, essentially. Alright, CCs? Sassies? I don't even know. Let's build some medium wealth residential here. I actually didn't get the right size. Not something that we cannot fix though. But simple roads. This should do it. Should be quite equal. There we go. Now we just need to connect some... Well, power should be automatically connected simply because it's so close to the industry. We just need to connect to this. And there it is. Let's see what causes this to... What's gonna happen essentially. Let me see. Time passes by, buildings are built, and you can see that already medium density houses are being placed, which is always nice. Now we should be making exactly the same amount of money as we're spending. Quite incredibly. Now we're making a bit more, simply because citizens come in and out and they have to pay taxes and you can get more money essentially. You're not just a mayor, you're actually a president. I don't know if in America it works such a way that you paid your taxes to the mayor or to the president. Here it works in this way that you pay the taxes to the president and that's it. Or rather to the politicians, not the president, rather the prime minister. The president is basically a figure here. It seems lacking lifespan. Healthcare system. Yeah, we might need one of those, but then again we're not gonna make a lot of money with that. We might as well build it since there is time. This might improve also the wealth of my citizens in some way. The mayor rating does increase anyway, so that's nice. But we're not making quite enough money. Anyway, I'm going to develop the cities a bit more off camera, and I'm gonna join you for the last part of this game before I go into the next game. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Actually, yes, I'm gonna spoil it. Next game is going to be XCOM Enemy Within after this series. Until then, be well. Bye!
This was the Lauron Gaming Show. Thanks for watching.